Hello, today I have a message called Quietly, Deeply Joyous. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We are starting with an ego that you have made with thought is the only entity that can seem better or worse than someone who looks separate. Another ego you have built with thought. So we're looking backstage. We're looking at the set. We're looking at the stagecraft, and it's like every character we meet it's built kind of like a set. It's part of the it's part of the stagecraft, and we built everyone that we relate to. Their ego we built out of thoughts. We've done it, and with willingness, we can see through what we've built to what was here before we built anything. So that's the constant invitation we all have. When we're thinking of anyone, when we're with anyone, when we're communicating with anyone, we can see through what we've built with thought, what we think their character is, what we think we need from them or don't want from them, what we think they're likely to be like, what role we believe they play in our lives, how we believe they're needed or not needed. All of that, that's what we built with thought. That's what we treat as real. But in every interaction, whether it's just someone coming to mind or someone seeming to be there, we have the chance to look through what we built with thought as irrelevant. It's irrelevant what we built with thought, whether it's positive or negative. And then we can look through and see what was here before I built anything with thought. Kind of like the question from the work of Byron Katie, who would I be without that thought? But we're looking at somebody we think is else. Who would I be without those thoughts I used to build a set piece that I'm calling this other one? And it's not really that other one. So who were they before I built anything and put it in front of them and treated it like them? What's here? What's always been here? What's real? We always have that chance to remember that and see it and rest in it. Depend on it. And know we're safe with it, in it, as it. That's our safety. What's behind what we built is our safety, and we're encompassed by it already. We may not recognize it, but we're joined with it. And all our storytelling is about pretending that's not true. And it's getting a little more lighthearted. I say that after a day that started with really intense feeling. I'm wondering, my gosh, where did this come from? And I guess this is the next layer. Here we go. Got to work through it. And now it seems like so much of this has been a joke. Like, I see how you could laugh at it now, no matter how serious it seems to be, because we truly made it up. We truly made it up. And we don't have to continue. We do not have to continue doing what we've been doing. Okay, so there is a way to be sure of a peaceful future. Well, peace is in the now. So if we tune into and trust the now, and we allow it to extend, the now and all the qualities it has becomes what we experience as our future, and the form doesn't matter so much. The now matters, the peace matters, the extension instead of the projection, that matters. The truth matters in the sense that we are all truth, and we can all allow truth to extend from everyone and everything we encounter, because that is their nature, truly. Behind any set piece we've put in front of them that we've built out of thought, truly their nature is truth, grace, joy, peace, forever. And so we control the future in that way. Do we have the willingness to tune into the power that we all share? We've never lost it. We pretended not to have it, surely, in favor of a story we were building. We definitely did that. But we never ever lost the power we share, the safety we share, the love we share, the peace we share. We never lost it. And to hold that awareness with us and to allow that to extend, then what on earth could stand in place of that? Nothing can stand in the way of or contradict your own decision to allow the peace you are and the peace they will be forever, no matter what surface they seem to have right now, to just simply to allow it to make itself known and to extend. There's really nothing to struggle against, because the little set pieces we built that would tell us there's something to fight, we put a wooden sword in our hands and we tell ourselves to fight with this thing we're calling other, like it's the biggest joke ever. It is truly not real. So anything our ego voice would tell us to fight against, it's like the biggest joke ever. And we can start to see it that way. There is truly nothing to fight. And what we really are, we don't want to fight. We want to allow that. Okay, keep everyone close. That doesn't mean we have to cling to characters or set pieces or things we build with thought. It just means that everyone is close. How many angels will fit on the head of a pin? Well, you're there on the head of the pin with all your fellow beings. You are that close. And so there's no reason to stand back from another being and make a decision about them that would indicate that you're in opposition in any way. It's easy for me to see this right now, really easy. And that's why it's enjoyable. It's a lovely experience to have. As I walk through my day, I do get tempted to see oppositionally. It's a habit. But the gift of every day is the opportunity to recognize and fall out of the habit. Say no this time, let it dissolve, to understand the joke that, of course I don't want to depend on the choice to see opposition and act as if opposition is real. Of course I don't want to keep playing that joke on myself over and over and over again. And it gets more and more clear that this is what I have been doing. No matter how serious the oppositional form seems to be, it's the same repetition of the same joke. So rather than distance myself from someone or something and standing back and judging it, keep it right here on the head of the pin with me. Keep it right here, because it's all the same thing. There's nothing to shove away. There's nothing to see as anything other than myself. And there's nothing to see in myself, my capital S self, that isn't love, innocence, purity forever. That's how we were created, and that's how we have to stay forever. We were created beautiful and clean and innocent, and we don't have a choice. We have to stay that way. We can play pretend that there could be something that's not us, that isn't what we are, and that is the only thing we have been doing. We've just been playing pretend, and now we can let the game of pretend wind down, because it isn't the aspects of the pretend game that make us happy. It's what we are altogether that is our happiness. It is what we are. It's safe to trust in what is real in everyone and everything, but it's also important to acknowledge when you are perched outside trust. Yeah, it doesn't do me any good to lie to myself. So to notice when I'm feeling off, when I'm feeling tense, when I'm feeling pushy, and it goes in layers. It becomes really obvious to me that I'm terrified or that I'm extremely distressed, and I'll think, why didn't I notice that before? Well, because it was covered up with another layer. You didn't even know the terror that was lurking under that, or the perceived need to push that was, or withdraw that was lurking under that layer. So you feel the one layer intensely, and you of course it becomes obvious. It's complete madness. You have to let it go. And then you do. And then you find the happiness of having let it go. And then here's the next layer. And it's important to acknowledge, now that I've let that one go, and oh, here's all the happiness, but oh my goodness, look, oh, there's anxiety. I didn't notice that before. This is part of my habitual rituals, or ways I think I keep myself safe in a routine, or ways of defining things, ways of habitually going through the same experiences in the same way, trying to replicate things from the past for a sense of order and safety, and then that gets revealed. And then, of course, you wouldn't want to hold on to what makes you miserable. So as each layer gets revealed, it's so clear to us. Of course, we don't want to hang on to what makes us miserable. It's just so clear. And then we find a way of letting that go and trusting in what is unknown to the ego, but it is us. It is what we are, and it's what everyone else is too. So as long as I can keep acknowledging when I am perched outside of trust, when I'm trying to get something out of the set pieces, some joy. So they're really inanimate. They're not real. They have no life in them. They're things I constructed and pretended. I pretended they had life, but they never did. And all of the life and the happiness is in what we are together. Okay. You can be quietly, deeply joyous without fanfare. In fact, that is what all are. So if you look at our true nature, it's just here. It's just here all the time. When you wipe away everything on the surface, what's real about us, where we're joined with one another forever? It's quietly, deeply joyous and very powerful. And that's something we can rest in at any time. And that's something we can put in charge of everything. That's what we're learning. We're learning to use this place where we're joined in quiet, deep joy. We're learning to use this place as our foundation, as our inspiration, as the decider or the guide of, if the character is going to say anything, let it be provided from the place where we're joined, where we're together, where all the wisdom is. Not from the level of there's a character making decisions for itself. We all know how that feels. And there's something deeper than that, that is, okay, here's where we're all joined. And at this level, decisions can be made and given to me. So even just acknowledging that helps us operate from this place, rest in this place. So little by little, we come to see this, what we share, is our true sanity. I can't have a sanity that is not also yours. I have to go down to this foundational level where we're one, where we're joined, to be guided from the sanity that we are together. In terms of the details, I don't know what that's going to be. So any part of me that still remains, that thinks it knows what it needs and what it wants and how things are supposed to go, that's going to keep getting triggered and triggered and triggered, so I can keep seeing where I'm perched outside of trust. And so I can learn how to sink down to our foundation and trust everything, let everything flow and extend from here, from right here, where we're all joined together forever in this quiet, deep joy. And as I allow everything I experience to come from that place, I see that this place is communicating with and through you too. So that's something I can start to see, appreciate, depend on. Then there's nothing to worry about. If everyone and everything you could run into is operating from the foundation in which you rest, then there's nothing to fear. Yeah, that's enough for me. I could just sit in that for a while and let it soak in. So I'm going to stop there. And thank you. Happy healing.